I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? Yeah. I just want to say, can't live, can't breathe with no air. I am so excited. I'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Okay, so when I knew I was going to have this person on the show, I said, "Oh my gosh, I love the way this song went, the writing. He was a he was a part of that song. He was a part of the. I guess you know what? He could tell you the whole story better than I can. I want to welcome to the show Russell Hart. What's up, brother? How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good now. Okay, so now you have to tell me before we get started on all of that. My one of my favorite songs was No Air. Tell me about that. How were you involved with that? And then we can get into the rest. I just have to ask.
Okay. Well, funny story. I was late to the studio, and a couple of my writing partners, Harvey and James, they were already in Bluetooth. Eric Griggs, they were already had already started the song. And when I came in the studio, the song sounded so good and so amazing. I was trying to figure out how can I still be a part of the song, I don't, So anyway, I acted like the song was just okay. So I was like, that's okay. It still needs, it needs some sunshine. That's the term that I use. Like it needs some sunshine on it. And I knew that would challenge them to say, well, go in the booth and do what you gonna do. So that was perfect. So when they said that, that's when I went in. So how do you expect me? Live alone with just me. I did all that just off the dome, and that's how I got on the song. So
Yes. I mean, you got to add a little sparkle, a little flair to it. That's how it works. Thank you so much for telling me that story. That is an
yeah.
amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, so let's backtrack. Did
Okay.
you, okay, I have so many questions, but how did you get started?
Well, when I was 14 years old, a friend of mine, and I was at Pasadena High School in Pasadena, California. A friend of mine told me to watch him. He was going to be on this TV show called Putting on the Hits. It's a lip sync show
Oh,
back in the day when we were young, where you go on the show and you lip sync other people's music. So anyway, he went on the show and they won. And a producer by the name of Greg Perret wanted to know if the guys could really sing. And I grew up pretty popular in Pasadena from a young kid, 10, 11 years old, singing and dancing and stuff. So he came and asked me, would I be a part of this group? And of course I said yes. And we later became Troop, Total Respect of Other People. We had our first #1 record was Mamacita, produced by the late, great Gerald Levert, my buddy Mark Gordon. We had a top 5 single, My Heart, produced by my big bro, Chuckii Booker. Later, our second album, Attitude, we had our biggest single was All I Do Is Think of You. We had a #1 single called Spread My Wings. And that's how I got my start in the music business. But I actually started writing songs before the group ever came out. Our manager told us that we had to write our own songs because the songs that we were getting from publishing companies just wasn't good enough. So I was like, so anyway, Alan knew how to write songs. He taught me how to write songs, and that's how I became a songwriter.
wow. It is amazing how life can take you in so many different places that you would never even imagine. I mean, imagine someone telling you you would be who you are today. What would you tell them?
How? Back then, my question would have been, how is that gonna happen? Are you sure? Like, I want some details. Like, are you sure? Just tell me what I gotta do, and I'm gonna just focus on that so I can make that come true.
Wow. So what you experienced was more like a phenomenon. It
Yeah.
wasn't something that you kind of planned. It was kind of like, okay, I'll go with the flow. It's just I'll go with the flow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
like to go with a flow like that. I'm just saying.
Well, it was, to add to the story, by the time Rodney came to me, I had already had a discussion with my mom, and I had already made up in my mind that I wanted to be in the music business.
Mm, mm,
So, and Rodney came right to me as soon as I made that inside choice.
Wow.
Rodney came right to me. Hey man, this producer saw the show. Oh yeah, I'll be in the group for sure.
Sure, I'll do that. To be like back in the back of your mind going, I can't believe this is happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, I can already see it. I can already see it. My gosh. So you've done so many different things. You've been on you've been on so many different I just want to put up I'm putting up some of your experiences and some of your things that have happened. Babyface and
Yes.
okay, Chuckii
Yes.
Booker and Gerald Levert and all of you. Tell me about how these people how did all of this kind of roll into your life? You seem like you're like a snowball and you're just picking up everybody as you go.
Well, that's how it was. Once we got our record deal with Atlantic Records, that introduced me to the relationships with Gerald Levert and Chuckii Booker. That's how it got started. Sylvia Rohn, she put us with Chuckii to get us groomed and get us a sound developed, because she liked the way we danced and stuff, but we didn't have songs. But she put us with Chuckii Booker to develop us, and at the same time she put us with Gerald Levert and Mark Gordon to develop us as well. And I just, once I was produced, the image that I had in my head that the artist is the one that does everything went out the door immediately. Once I knew that the producer is the one that has the puzzle, the picture, the producer is the one saying, sing it like that, do that again, give me a little more passion. Oh, you're not doing it good enough. Oh, you suck, get out. Once you experience that.
Yes, come on.
Once you
I've been there.
experience not being good and someone builds you up and you sound great, I wanted to do that for people. I wanted to do it for my group Troop. I just wanted to produce once I experienced that. I had the bug.
Oh man, let me tell you, experiences made me cry when I started working with Glenn Leonard at the Temptations, formerly leasing the Temptations. I went in and they had a musical director. Now he did all kinds of stuff in California. He did hair, he did all that. He came in, he says, Yaya, what are you doing? I was like, I'm singing. He goes, you're not singing. That is not singing.
You suck.
You suck. And I was like, ah!
Hey, I've been there.
I cried. He made everybody cry. And the entire band, he made and then when we went back in there, we were so good. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it was so good. That it was such a wake-up call. Such a wake-up call. Definitely
I've had a few artists cry on me. Because it's tough, it's easy to sing around the house and sound great, but once you're in that studio, hey, you are flat.
Let me tell you something. Nobody has ever made me cry after that. We are not going there. We are not going there. We are good now.
Yeah.
What you want? You want straight? Yeah. You want vibrato? What you want?
See? So it was a good thing, I think that's awesome.
Definitely a good thing. Okay, so then you also worked on so many different things, and you got a Grammy.
Yes, I have 2 Grammys.
You go. Yes.
3.
You have 3.
Yeah.
What happened? You forgot about the 4? How could you do that?
I have 2 with Chris Brown, and I have 1 with Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson's first album was amazing. I was fortunate enough to get a song on there called Invisible. And we got a Grammy with that. Chris Brown, I was again fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time and helped come up with a song called Take You Down, which also received a Grammy. And Chris Brown's Fortune and Fame, the double album, we received a Grammy on Fortune, I believe, for a song called Up to You.
Wow. It is wonderful that you've put in so much work, because this is not just, the fame, the fortune, the Grammys. Oh, yay. It's more like I can't sleep. What the heck is going on? And anybody got some real food?
Right. Exactly. God, we need a hit. We need a hit for this guy.
Need a hit. You are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you better bring deodorant.
And a bag.
And an
Yeah.
overnight bag
Yeah.
and some cash because
It
you're gonna
takes
be here
that.
for a minute.
You know, it takes that when you
Yeah.
really want to accomplish in this business, especially. You really got to put the work in. You know, it's fun work. It's what you love to do, and you just have to. You know, you have so many uh, bad ideas that you got to get out of the way. You know, so it just takes time. You know.
You hit it on the nail. Bad ideas.
Yeah.
And people actually get discouraged when they get to that point where they see that they have had a bad idea and they don't think they're any good. Can
Yeah.
you get past that? And have you experienced that firsthand?
Yeah, I've experienced it firsthand. You know, I'll tell you a quick story. Um, before our last album on Atlantic Records, I wrote and produced 98% of it. I put my heart and soul into it. I just wanted it to be Troop's breakthrough, Jackson's Triumph album. It was just this thing for me, you know. So anyway, um, there had already been some business things that had started snowballing that was causing the label to be disenchanted with Troop in business. So while I'm in the studio, oblivious to all that, just thinking that I'm creative and I'm in alignment and everything's great, as the music was going up, the business was going down. So the album suffered because of that. And
Mm.
I went years thinking that that album was the reason Troop had fell off in the sense, you know, even though we had a #1 record, Sweet November, I still thought because I wanted to do so much and be so much and just give so much that it got in the way and hurt us. So I went through that lie only to find out once social media became a thing, that was people's favorite album.
Wow.
It was the people's favorite album. So you know, I had to live and deal with that to come out of it, knowing that I was cool all the time. It had nothing to do with the music, you know. So
Wow. So
you can
we
get past it. You can get past it. You just have to step away. Like even right now, you know, I took a break from music the last 4 years. You know, I've just stepped away because I spent so much time doing it. So just getting back into creating again, you know, I have spots where, you know, you have to get the momentum started, just like with anything. You got to step away when it's not hot, come back when it's hot. You know, some things you have to work on. When you get in alignment, it's going to flow. So
right.
the main thing is just staying steadfast at it and just keep creating.
Mm.
If it gets rough for you, just step away. You know,
Mm.
you're under no pressure. You know.
Right. Right. Wow. Wow. And you also you are a radio personality too, huh?
Yes, yes. I'm Stephen Russell Harts from the Heart of R&B. Yes, with my
Hey,
co-host Miss Chalet.
good
Yes.
boy.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I have a radio show called the Heart of R&B podcast show with a lot of amazing guests on the show all the time. My beautiful co-host Miss Chalet, talking real topics, playing real music. It gets heavy on the Heart of R&B. And we're just now working on our syndication. So pretty soon you're going to see us everywhere. You're going to be able to hear us everywhere.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Man, I tell you one thing, when it comes to, and I've always said this, when it comes to people following you and getting that advice, there's so many people out there that can be a mentor,
Yeah.
but there's no mentors anymore.
Wow.
Literally, I mean, you want a mentor, you got to pay $1,500. But I'll give you a deal right now at
Wow.
$11.95.
Wow.
Don't worry. And then if you don't like it, you can get your money back. But wait, I have another offer. It's like, come on. I mean, I
Dang.
used to get a mentor for free. Now I
Yeah.
gotta pay
Yeah.
$11.99.
Yeah. I didn't have to pay for my mentors either. That's so funny.
Come on. Am I not
But
right?
it's a different world though, you know.
Hmm.
Everything has changed. So,
Yes.
you know, you know, I guess a person has to be open and in search of the mentoring. Now, like you have to, I even did it growing up, you know, certain people you don't have to be personal with to get mentoring from.
Hmm.
You know, you can gain from watching and you know, watching from afar and learning and gaining too. You know,
Right.
it's just about that person and that person's dedication to what they want and what the outcome that they want to see, you know, and want to
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you know, I try to do the station where everybody sees your journey. They see where you're coming from. They see where you're going. They see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that that is very important. I don't think that I could have been a radio personality without this show.
Right.
And so,
Right.
and without people like you, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
But your story is not done. You have your next single. You are actually back. Tell me about
Yeah.
this.
Okay, so in the course of writing songs for other people, you know, when you go in the studio with Chris Brown, Charlie Wilson, all these people, you write a lot of songs. So there were a lot of songs that didn't get chosen for different projects. So I've been releasing solo albums since 2010. I have a solo album out called Before I Found My Father and Knew My Last Name Was Harts. It was just Steve Russell. So my first album was Steve Russell So Random, which is available everywhere. My second album was Steven Russell Harts, The Wedding Singer. Then I had Steven Russell Harts, Swept Away. And my latest, my alias Lil Steve, I just released an album called Trapsody, and the first single is called In My Feelings, which is it's available everywhere. And don't be thrown off. The album covers a little cartoon character with bling on and all this stuff, but yeah, that's me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome back.
Well,
Welcome
thank you
back
so
to the
much.
scene. It's not easy, you know, but I'm sure you have the experience already, and that kind of sets you apart from a lot of people who are just starting. What kind of advice do you give to the people who are just beginning, who are kind of feeling bad and kind of in that zone where they think they're awful, but they're really not?
Um, you got to have real people around you. You know, I was fortunate to have a mother that was my biggest fan and worst critic at the same time. So
Mm,
I grew up with the truth. I had to get tough skin and able to accept criticism and the truth from other people's perception very early on. If you suck, you suck, right? If you're not good at it, you might not just be good at it, but if you're good at it and you're growing and you're getting better at it, just keep going. And you know, the first thing you said, what would I say to people who feel bad? The first thing I would say is make sure that has nothing to do with anything feeling bad, because
mm,
that's like praying against the thing that you're so feeling bad about. So if you want to go forward and grow in music, music is a very high energetic frequency.
yes.
um, if you want to excel at that, I would make sure you feel good about your experience growing in this thing, focused on your outcome only, and making
Hmm.
sure that you feel good about even the stuff that don't even sound so good yet. You feel good that you got that out. But feeling bad is a curse against yourself. You can't feel bad and win at the same time. So you first have to get control of that feeling thing and make sure, if you can, take your feelings out of it and just create.
I
You
hear
know,
you.
just
I
get
hear
out of
you.
your way and just create and let the universe do its part with whatever. You're gonna grow, you're gonna get better. But a secret I would say honestly is to imagine yourself getting your awards. Imagine yourself with the number one records. You know, write that down. You see yourself number one. Feel the feeling that you want to feel from being number one. If you can grasp that in the moment, the universe works much faster.
Mm.
That genie in the lamp works much faster when you already are a star right now, instead of waiting for somebody to praise you to feel that way. If you can imagine yourself with it right now and feel good and smile in your meditation or whatever, your time alone, if you can just go there to that place that you want to be, that helps the universe see your outcome as well.
I'm seeing it.
Yes.
I've already visualized that. I guess
Feel
it's just,
good.
yeah,
Feel
yeah, I've
good
already
about
done
it.
that. Yeah,
Walk
feel
through
good
the
about it.
house, drive the car, you know, get chills, smile when you're there, because you want to create the feeling. The universe responds to how we feel,
Hmm.
not what we say or think. It's how we feel inside, that deep, deep belief. If you believe your outcome, you're gonna get it. There's just no way around it. But if you feel bad, if you're looking at what you don't have, you're cursing yourself, because what you see is the lie. Because
Right.
what you visualize and what you want your outcome to be is your truth.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you can only see it now beforehand, the universe respects that. You have the audacity to feel good about something, and you don't even know how you're gonna get there in the flesh. That's amazing. Here, take a little of that. Go to the store. Right. Matter of fact, go to the store. I got somebody I want you to meet. Just go to the store, pick up some eggs, and you go to the store unbeknownst to you, or somebody says, "Oh, I love your hair." But what do you do for a living? Oh, I sing. Oh, really? I have a TV show. Okay, you get what I'm saying? The universe, you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to know each detail. Just do your part from the inside first. The inside carry the outside. If you do the inside work and get all of your beliefs together, you can do it. You know that you're this thing. If you gather all of that knowing, the universe is going to bless you so fast.
Now you just said something. Go to the store. And that's exactly what I did. I went to the store. And my husband used to work at Ace Music in Miami. I don't know if you remember that place. Ace Music was like where all the stars
Wow.
went. And he told Walter Clyde Orange, who is now a really good friend of mine and my daughter's god's father, said, "Oh, my wife can sing." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So then he goes, "Well, uh, about a few months after that, we got a project for a missing children,
Oh,
missing children's project. We did the album and went up for 8 Grammys.
whoa.
It was amazing, amazing time. That was I didn't cry with him, but he was like, "Yeah, yeah, you got gum in your mouth. Are you tired? You want to go home?" Like, "I'm not tired. I'm gonna get this right." But definitely, we went into his studio. Amazing person, amazing guy, family man. Um, it was a wonderful experience, and to this
Wow.
day, I'm so appreciative of the time I had with him. But going to the store, go figure. I was buying my equipment to do my little outdoor events, singing
Yeah.
solo, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, um, "I want you to do a project." I was like, "Well, I got the perfect guy." I was like, "Clyde." I called him. He was like,
Yeah.
"What's up?" Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Can you do this?" And he was like, "Okay, so let's get the Cornelius brothers on here." I was like, "All right." So we
Wow.
worked with them. So it was an amazing thing. But all I did was say, "Hey, okay."
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. So
Yeah.
you're so right. You're
Yeah.
so right, man. I tell you, amazing time. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Man,
I
thank you for having
appreciate
me.
it. Thank you so much. You don't realize everything that you said today, everything that's happened today has been a big mentor for people who are looking to be encouraged to go after their dreams and their hopes, their
Yeah.
aspirations. And maybe they are feeling a little low and maybe they need to change. And maybe what you just said might just
Yeah.
help them and pull them out of that. So I want to thank you
Well,
for being
thank
on
you.
this show.
And I want
Thank
to
you.
also, tell everybody that myself and the other lead singer, Troop Allen, we have our first duet out right now. It's the remake of Michael's song "Lady in My Life." It's available everywhere. It's on a forthcoming album, an Inky and Enlil project. It's Steven Russell Harts and Al Mack. It's "Lady in My Life." Please check that out. And for the mentoring side of things, my daughter, she's an artist. Her name is Sia Moon. We do these classes together called, it's on Instagram, it's called Welcome to Intro. And there's a lot of mentoring that I do with the younger generation now. I'm talking to her peers and enlightening them about, what we've been talking about today. So check that out. And
All
thanks
right.
for having me on the show. I totally appreciate it.
I had such a wonderful time, and you're so inspirational. Thank you so much. And I
Thank you.
think I'm going to go ahead and I'll help. I'll post all of this up, and we'll have all of this in the description box below. And you can always pause this video or pause the audio and go back and listen, so that you're not left out and that you know exactly where to find him and find the new songs and the duet and the Instagram and all of that. I want to thank you so much again for being on the show. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you. You've
Thank you.
made an impact in my life.
Well,
Thank you.
beautiful. Then I've done my job. Thank you for having me so much.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this entire thing. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Go to the Instagram, subscribe to his Instagram, subscribe to Welcome to Intro. So that sounds really good. I like that. And don't forget to dare to be different all the time and every time. Until next time, guys. Bye.
I did to be different. I did.